Today's air gunning video is brought to you from the studio of Papa T Adventures. We hope you enjoy. Hello family, welcome back to Papa T Adventures. Today we're doing our much delayed first shots, first thoughts for the DX17 pistol by Umarex. So this is not really my first shots because, well, I've gone through over a tin of these already. The Umarex steel BB ammo. Also, this is my second attempt to record this video. As my first attempt, I lost audio halfway through. So starting out, the DX17, I got it as a 2-pack when I bought it. I've primarily been shooting this one. I keep it loaded, and we'll go through that. So when you cock the gun, then you can actually lift to load. You can put 16 BBs into the magazine, 1 in the chamber, so a total of 17 BBs. Conveniently, the gun's named DX17, so it helps to remember that. The safety can only be engaged when the gun is cocked. A feature I didn't like at first, like on this one, can't engage the safety. Once you cock the gun, sorry, it's not even, so there all we did was release the slide. You see, we still can't engage the safety, still can't get to the magazine to load a pellet or to load BBs. Once you slide the slide back, now you can engage that safety, and you can also lift to load. So if you wanted, you can load straight into the barrel for a pellet. I don't personally, just on my own usage, wouldn't recommend trying to use pellets. If you do, you're going to want to use the lightest pellet you can find, or you can load BBs into the magazine there. So we'll load one up. And then it talks about making sure you have the gun aimed upward when you're cocking to make sure it chambers that BB. And then slide back. Really could have put the slide back before you loaded. I just wanted you to see that it can engage once the slide is back. And not until then. So at this point, then you can take aim and shoot. And then once again, can't engage that safety. If I find my original footage from the first few shots I took with this, I'll put it on the end of the video. But we're doing first shots, first thoughts a little different this time, in that we're going to take our shots while we talk about the gun. So at first I didn't like the safety feature with the DX17. I like to have the safety engaged. It's grown on me since then. I do like the idea that if you can't engage the safety, you know that that the gun is not able to be fired. Also, the trigger, I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the video, but the trigger is actually still back in the when the gun is not cocked, and it comes forward once that slide is pulled back, engages the trigger as well. So just a couple of ways to know that the gun's not ready to be fired. Still, in general, like to be able to put on a safety, regardless of the state. Not that you depend on them either way. Gun safety, never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire, making sure you're pointed in safe directions, that kind of thing. I do know what is off camera over here. The gun doesn't have a lot of power, which is again why I recommended not using pellets, even though Umarex lists it as BBs or pellets. You do want to remove all of the BBs before loading a pellet. That is one of the things. But I've seen lots of people complain the gun jammed up with pellets because it didn't have enough force, and just based on what I've seen, I can believe that. I've gotten ricochets off this screen, believe it or not. I hit the screen and it came back to me from, that's about 10 feet. Came all the way back to my hand. So not a lot of power, but it's still a lot of fun. As you may have seen in the video I did where I was just backyard plinking. That was my first of the backyard plinking shorts. So we'll just go ahead and continue actually shooting now as we talk. It does have fixed sights, so you can't adjust them. And here I'm shooting from about 5 yards away, just to be able to sit in the gazebo here. It's under renovations at the moment. It's seen some time with of neglect, so we're getting things renovated. I reclaimed it from the squirrels and the wasps, but the slide is a little hard to pull back. I have had it slip out of my hand before, so even when you're going to cock the gun, make sure that you aim in a direction that you're not too, or that you know where you're aiming, because one of those times when I was cocking, lost hold of the slide and it snapped back and actually ended up firing a BB. Typically I get ricochets, particularly anything further than this. So in that 7 to 10 yard range, I get ricochets off of cardboard, which is why I have an egg carton that we just knocked over. And I have a piece of styrofoam backing on that other one. You see there? I just had a ricochet that came rolling back over even there. I want to go ahead and set up our egg carton again so we can keep shooting at it. You have to adjust your aim point with the fact that it is fixed sights, because you cannot adjust for yardage or windage. But it's still great fun just to sit. I may eventually get some darts. I've seen where people have done well with using darts in it for shooting at dartboards to good effect. Alright, we still got a few more. I hadn't been counting shots. I normally keep this pistol completely loaded up. We'll go back to shooting at the egg carton now. Actually, that might be the last one. Let's get another pating, but off the gong there. That sounds like all of it out of there. So, like I said, all in all, a fun gun. I normally keep this one completely loaded and ready, safety on, up out of reach, obviously. But this is my grab and go, have a little fun. Take a tin with a few BBs with me and just go out and do things like backyard plinking while by the fireside, come out here and sit and just shoot across the gazebo. Warn the squirrels that they're not welcome. That this is a human gazebo, not a squirrel gazebo. It does have a rail on the bottom, so if you wanted to mount a like a light or a little laser pointer onto that lower rail, you could do that. There is no top rail. But I guess if you put a little laser on the bottom, you could use that to help with your aiming. All in all, for the little bit you pay, it's not a bad gun. It is basically all, almost all composite. The slide itself is metal. But other than that, everything in here is almost all composite on the gun. But and actually as I look, and I will have to put a comment in if I find otherwise, there is a small screw on this rear sight, so you might actually be able to adjust it on here. And that might be what they intend for adjusting for windage, and sorry, for yardage. But I don't know that it necessarily would. I just consider it a fixed sight. It has got a little fiber optic. It's not really fiber optic, but it kind of looks fiber optic for the front sight. But for cheap fun, I mean, you get the little 2-pack that they have. Comes with 2 of these tins of the 200 steel BBs from Umarex. So 400 BBs, 2 guns, and have little dueling pistol competitions shooting at things. Like maybe get the targets for doing Battleship Airgun Edition with a friend, have family gun night or something along those lines. So I think that's all for today. Thank you for stopping by Papa T Adventures. We'll see you next time. And like I said, if I see that, if I find the original first shots I took, I'll go ahead and put that on the end. Otherwise, maybe you'll just see the bloopers where my original video ended and I went silent, which maybe is how some people prefer me. Once again, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you next time.